Florian Wirtz is a superstar in the making.
He's been described as a once-in-a-century talent.
And Wirtz, oh my goodness!
He is one of the most talented attackers in world football.
Florian Wirtz, yes! Magical!
A gifted player who can create and score on his own. His growth has been meteoric. In a few years, he went from an up-and-coming talent in the Bundesliga to an attacking midfielder that every team wanted.
Liverpool fans, you have got your man. Florian Wirtz is a red.
And now, he's bringing all of his qualities to Anfield.
In the end, also easy to decide for me to come to Liverpool.
So where does he fit in this Liverpool team? And how much better will the Reds get? Let's find out. Slot won the Premier League in his first season with just one new signing who barely featured. But now, he's being backed. Wirtz is no ordinary signing. This is a statement signing. It's a message loud and clear to the rest of the Premier League that the Reds are here to take over. That the 2025 season wasn't a fluke. Wirtz is a player who will immediately elevate Liverpool to the next level. He is a versatile attacker. He can pretty much play anywhere in the front four. But I think it's clear that he's coming to upgrade the attacking midfield position. Think about him like a German Coutinho, a player who can beat his man smoothly, then bang in a shot from distance. It's a profile that the Reds haven't had in years. You see, Szoboszlai has been great for Slot. The Dutchman has time and time again praised how much Szoboszlai's work rate and movement helped the team.
He doesn't always get the credits for the fact that he's very important for this team because his work rate is unbelievable.
The Hungarian would make so many runs off the ball that dragged the opposition defenders with him, creating space for players like Salah and Gakpo to cut in. At the same time though, he hasn't shown all the traits that you need for a player in that position. We haven't seen him regularly bang in long shots like he used to, or beat multiple players to score a goal out of nothing. Well, enter Wirtz, a player who is not just a stat machine, but someone with flair and a delicate touch. There's a reason this guy was the Bundesliga Player of the Year in 2024 when Leverkusen won the league unbeaten. I'm gonna get to his tactical fit later in the video, but what should impress Liverpool fans even more than his ability is the guy's mentality and character. As we have seen with Liverpool, they don't just look at a player's football ability, they also look at what kind of person the player is both on and off the pitch. And by all accounts, Wirtz is a very humble, down-to-earth guy, which is great to see because this guy has been seen as a generational talent ever since his days on the Köln under-17 team. Wirtz joined their youth team in 2010, and he remained there until he was signed by Bayer Leverkusen in January of 2020. During his time at Köln, he progressed through the youth teams, getting better and better, and establishing himself as a promising talent in German football. In the 2018-2019 season, he was just 15 years old when he was promoted to the under-17 squad, and immediately he made an impact. He scored 8 goals in 10 matches, playing as an attacking midfielder. It was his performances that helped the team win the under-17 Bundesliga title, and his exceptional play did not go unnoticed. It was during this period that local newspapers described him as the best midfielder to come through the club in 30 years. Now what's funny is at this point Liverpool had actually shown interest in him. They wanted him, as did many other top European clubs like Bayern Munich. However, in January of 2020, Wirtz made the decision to join Bayer Leverkusen. He felt that provided him with the best pathway to transition to professional football. It says a lot about his mentality and character that he always knew what he wanted. He wasn't looking for the biggest paycheck. He was looking for a club that believed in young players and would give him a chance to really shine. So when Bayer Leverkusen came calling, it was a no-brainer. The club had a reputation for developing talent, and their sporting director, Simon Rolfs, had already been keeping an eye on Wirtz since he was 14 years old. I told you guys, this guy was seen as a generational talent from a very early age. The rest of the world is finding out about him now, but people in Germany knew how much potential he had. Wirtz started with the Leverkusen under-19 team, but it didn't take long for everyone to realize this kid was special. His skill, maturity, and confidence were miles ahead of most players his age. He was an actual wonder kid, not a fake one like Garnacho. On May 18, 2020, Wirtz made his Bundesliga debut against Werder Bremen, and at just 17 years and 15 days old, he became the youngest debutant in Leverkusen's history, breaking a record that was set by Kai Havertz. Then, less than 3 weeks later, he made history again. On June 6, 2020, Wirtz scored his first Bundesliga goal.
And the youngster scores his first ever Bundesliga goal.
And it was against Bayern Munich. He became the youngest scorer in league history at the time. The timing for his rise couldn't have been more perfect. That summer, Leverkusen had sold their star man Kai Havertz, and suddenly there was a big hole in the team's attack. Well, Wirtz, he stepped up. In fact, he actually thrived. He took over Havertz's role in midfield and showed a level of calmness and flair that you would only see from veteran players. He was pulling the strings from the middle of the pitch. Despite being a teenager, whether he was drifting into space or driving forward with the ball, Wirtz played like he belonged on that pitch. And it wasn't just in Germany where he was making his mark. In the Europa League, he scored against Nice, showing that he could easily handle the pressure of the big stage. That season, he made 29 appearances in the Bundesliga, scoring 5 goals and providing 6 assists, all before even turning 18. No one had ever done that in Bundesliga history. What's crazy is that his stats didn't even do him justice. From the eye test, he was incredible. He could play as the number 10 or out wide, or even deeper in midfield. His versatility gave Leverkusen options, and his intelligence really helped the team. Despite being so young, he understood where to make the right run, when to pass, and when to keep it. I already know that the Dutch Lex Luthor is gonna love this guy. What was great about him was that he wasn't just filling in for Havertz, he was becoming his own player, with his own identity. By the time that he turned 18, Wirtz had already become one of Leverkusen's most important players. Cause in the Bundesliga that season, he got 7 goals and 10 assists in just 24 matches. He was getting a goal or assist every 93 minutes. In Europe, he got 3 goals and 4 assists in 6 games. No matter the competition, Wirtz showed up. He was cool, he was calm, and he was always dangerous. In a very short time, he had gone from a promising talent to literally the heartbeat of Leverkusen's attack. I won't even call it a rise, he basically exploded onto the scene. Lamine Yamal and Barca's child labor factor have made it seem like it's normal for teenagers to be this good. It's not. Wirtz is just a special talent, and he had arrived. But just when everything seemed to be falling into place for him, disaster struck. In March 13, 2022, in a Bundesliga match against his former academy team, Wirtz went down. He clutched his knee, and the look on his face said it all. After the game, the news hit: a torn ACL in his left knee. Just like that, his season was over. For a young player on the rise, it was heartbreaking. Wirtz had been flying, scoring goals, creating magic. He was the one that was carrying the weight of Leverkusen's attack. But now all that momentum came to a screeching halt. And for a teenager who had only just begun to make his mark on the game, it was a crushing blow. And the thing is, the injury didn't just affect Wirtz, it hit the entire club. Leverkusen lost their best player. The one guy who could unlock a defense with a single touch was gone. And because of that, the team struggled. They had no creativity. Their attack felt lifeless. They were playing like United. The rhythm that Wirtz brought, that spark, it was missing. And quickly, Leverkusen began slipping in the table. While his team struggled on the pitch, off the pitch, Wirtz began the toughest battle of his young career. The months that followed were filled with grueling physiotherapy, lonely gym sessions, and endless rehab routine. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't fun, but it was necessary. Every day he worked to get stronger, to bend that knee a little more, to trust his body again, to be ready to return. As usual, when a young player gets this sort of a serious injury, there's always doubts. Would he ever be the same again? Could he still glide past players with ease? But through it all, Wirtz stayed focused, quiet, determined. He was preparing for that comeback. This was a very low point for him, a dark chapter in what had been a fairy tale rise. But Liverpool fans need to know this story because it was the moment that revealed something even more impressive than Wirtz's talent. It was his resilience. He wasn't just a wonder kid anymore, he was a fighter. When he finally stepped back onto the pitch in January of 2023, no one quite knew what to expect. But what followed was incredible. Somehow, Wirtz didn't just return to his old level, he came back better, sharper, more dominant than ever. And his timing couldn't have been more perfect. Just a few months earlier, in October of 2022, Bayer Leverkusen had made a bold move by bringing in Xabi Alonso. As I stated earlier, the team was really struggling at this point. They were actually fighting relegation, but the former Liverpool midfield maestro brought with him a new philosophy. He wanted to see more control and creativity from his team. It was a system that was tailor-made for Wirtz. And when he returned, it was like watching Alonso's vision come to life. In the beginning, Alonso managed Wirtz's return carefully. It was a slow, steady climb back to full fitness. But once Wirtz was unleashed, he became a monster. He instantly returned back to being the beating heart of Leverkusen's midfield again. And what followed was historic. In the 2023-2024 season, Wirtz helped lead Bayer Leverkusen to an undefeated domestic double, something that no one thought was possible. And he really was the architect of everything that was good in their attack. In the Bundesliga, he got 11 goals and 11 assists, averaging a goal involvement every 109 minutes. In the DFB Pokal, he added another 3 goals and 4 assists in just 6 matches. Across all competitions, he finished with an outrageous 18 goals and 20 assists. Not bad for someone coming off a year-long injury. But the stats stats don't even tell the full story. What makes Wirtz so special is the way that he plays. This is a guy that makes defenders panic. He breaks lines. He can glide past players in spaces that are tighter than a nun. Then he can break down the most terrorist of low blocks with impossible passes. Under Alonso, Wirtz wasn't just a star, he was his entire system. As one of the number 10s, his intelligence, his timing, his vision, it was all so important in Leverkusen scoring goals. They don't win the double without him, and the world started to take notice. Julian Nagelsmann brought Wirtz back into the national team setup, and the German, he made no time making history. In a friendly against France, he scored the fastest goal in German football history. He scored just 7 seconds after kickoff. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Germany ended up winning that game 2-0, and Wirtz had once again made headlines. But he wasn't even done yet. At the Euros that summer, he opened Germany's campaign with a beautiful goal just 10 minutes into a 5-1 win over Scotland. Now you might be saying, well, that's a stat pad session. Okay, when the stakes were highest, he delivered again, scoring an 89th minute equalizer against Spain in the quarterfinals to keep his country's dream alive. Both at the domestic level and in the international level, in big moments, Wirtz always showed up. The next season, he continued performing well for Leverkusen. He was still their best player. Even though as a team, they didn't perform as well as they did the season before, Wirtz was still getting his goals and assists. He got 16 goals and 16 assists in all competitions. And as I told you guys earlier in the video, he's very versatile. As seen from this graphic from The Athletic, he mostly played as a left-sided attacking midfielder, but he can play as a left winger, he can play more centrally, or even on the right-hand side. Slot is gonna love this guy because he loves versatile players. Look at Diaz, who played both as a left wing and a striker. Now Baldi can play Wirtz wherever he wants him. But like I said, this guy is at his best in the number 10 role. He does all of his magic in the attacking third. In the 2025 season, for example, only Doku had more passes than the German in the attacking third per 90 minutes. Wirtz is really good in the attacking third because of two things. Two factors that I don't see a lot of people discussing. It's his positioning and speed of thought. His mind seems to work a half second before everyone else on the pitch, and he uses that to his advantage. It's like he's always one step ahead of the defenders. Look at this game against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Wirtz checks in to receive a pass. Now the guy who was supposed to be marking him in Barrios was too slow to react, so Wirtz plays a first time pass and spins around him. Now when he receives the ball again, he has room to run into. He's also perfectly positioned to send a through ball to Frimpong to get him behind. I wanted to show you guys this play because we will be seeing a lot of it between these two just at Liverpool now. Here's another example from the same game. Look at where he's positioned, finding a pocket of space in between the two blocks of Atletico players. My god, Simeone really does play football like a terrorist at times. Anyways, Wirtz remains in this pocket of space and finds a gap in the box so that Frimpong can pick him out. He doesn't score here, but he had the time to control the ball and fire a volley to create a chance. This is why 47% of his shot attempts are on target. Considering he took nearly 2 shots per 90 across his entire Bundesliga career, that's a pretty good stat. It proves that he makes great decisions on the ball and doesn't just sky the ball over like some players.
And here comes Nunez.
Szoboszlai would find the same pockets of space, but he can't punish teams the way Wirtz does. Like, look at what he did to the San Pauli defense. He picked up the ball from Grimaldo right in a sweet spot, the space where he's the most dangerous. He takes a quick glance up, drives straight at the defense, megs the defender like it's nothing, before calmly slotting it past the keeper. I mean, the guy is just brilliant. He is very clever with his positioning and where he goes without the ball. It's very common to see him accelerate instantly after receiving the ball, giving defenders no time to react. And of course, with the ball, he's equally dangerous, if not more. Not only can he score, but he can create chances for others. He is the exact type of player to create something out of nothing. I mean, look at this Trivela cross against Dortmund, or this disguised through ball against Heidenheim. Liverpool fans are in for a treat. Wirtz is no longer just an up-and-coming talent, or one of Europe's best young players. He's one of the best players, flat out. He can offer a similar work rate to Szoboszlai while providing significantly more output. And we saw early in September of 2024 that Slot wants to see more goals and assists from his attacking midfielder.
And for an attacking midfielder at Liverpool, then his numbers needs to go up. But
he wants more chances created, more goal involvements.
something that we have to work on with him is that he's also even more involved in scoring goals and creating chances for us.
And that's exactly what Wirtz gives you. Now you may be saying, Ped, this guy was doing it in a farmers league though. Well, first of all, he was putting up insane numbers, not just good numbers. Secondly, we've seen him do it in the Champions League, in the Europa League, and even on the international stage. And lastly, Liverpool actually have a good track record with Bundesliga signings. Yes, Naby Keita wasn't great, but Firmino, Konate, Emre Can, all played pretty well. Like, think about it, Firmino was pretty unknown, then elevated his game at Liverpool. Meanwhile, Wirtz is already a top quality product. He is already good enough to make an impact, and he has the ability to get even better. I also don't think Richard Hughes is breaking the bag for a guy who could be a flop. What Wirtz gives you is more directness. At times when Jones or Szoboszlai got the ball in between the lines, they couldn't punish teams. This is a screenshot from the game against City where Curtis Jones got the ball in the space, tried to pass it quickly, and then lost it. Wirtz in this situation would drive with the ball and actually create an opportunity where either he takes the shot himself or he creates for someone around him. How do I know that? Well, here's Wirtz in a similar position against Bochum. Only Salah is as lethal as this guy in the attacking third for Liverpool. In fact, Wirtz is so good that maybe he can even eliminate the search for an elite striker. Slot might want to play Wirtz and Szoboszlai together. Who knows what the Dutch mega mind has up his sleeve. More importantly now, Liverpool will have another player other than Salah that can create something out of nothing. At times, the Liverpool guys will just give the ball to Mo and pray, Salah and inshallah. But Wirtz, he gives you another outlet, another player for teams to worry about. And considering his age, he can easily become the face of the team as Salah gets older. Now, Wirtz isn't the only player that Liverpool wanted. They wanted his Leverkusen teammate, Frimpong, as well. To see how Frimpong might be even better than Trent, you gotta watch this video right here.